Is your celery a stringy, bitter disappointment or as floppy as a wet noodle? If so, keep watching to learn a few simple tricks to beat the bitterness and crisp up your stalks. Whether you're whipping up a tuna salad, putting together a crudité platter, or crafting your go-to stuffing recipe, celery is a staple in many kitchens. It adds a unique herb-like flavour and a whole lot of crunch. However, for many individuals, there's one issue preventing them from loving this particular vegetable: the stringy texture of celery's exterior. In a Reddit thread from several years ago, one user made the simple suggestion of removing the exterior strings before eating, and the post racked up 361 comments. Some Reddit users commented about what a silly extra step it was. Raw celery has what are called parenchyma cells on the exterior, which are responsible for helping give the produce its customary crunch. These water-filled cells are also the reason behind that stringy texture though. Yet, while it adds an extra step to your prep process, there's a special hack to get rid of that stringy exterior in order to whip up the celery dish of your dreams. While you might not consider celery to be a vegetable with a peel, a vegetable peeler is the easiest way to get rid of those strings, particularly on the outer stalks, which tend to be a bit tougher. This effectively removes those stringy portions and you're left with crunchy, string-free celery to enjoy in whatever dish you're making. Or you could use a sharp paring knife to peel away that exterior portion of your celery. If the peeling process sounds too time-consuming, there's another method we recommend you try. Grab the base of the celery stalk you're looking to de-string. Snap it, and you should be able to simply pull the thick threads away from the stalk. Is all this additional prep work just too much for you to handle? Are you getting exhausted by just the thought of peeling celery?
I'm tired of this, Grandpa!
That's too damn bad!
It's just the price you pay for the best celery of your life. But if you really can't be bothered to add an extra step to your celery prep, we suggest you go for just those tender inner ribs. They may be too stringy for true celery haters, but they are much different in texture and flavour than the exterior stalks. In addition to the unappealing texture of the stringy portions, another key factor that causes celery haters to avoid the vegetable is its bitterness. Luckily, there are a few ways to help temper the vegetable's natural bitterness. It all depends on how you need to use the celery in your dish, starting from the point of purchase. While you may normally be drawn toward the most vibrant, colourful produce possible, as that's typically a visual indicator of ripeness, you want to go in the opposite direction for celery. Deeper green stalks are a strong indicator that the celery will be on the bitter side. This is because they haven't been bleached in the sunlight. Bleaching helps to combat processes that encourage that colour and consequent bitterness to develop. If you're trying to rescue celery that you've already purchased, there are a few things to consider. You're in luck if your dish requires the celery to be cooked, because this will help reduce those bitter flavour notes while highlighting some of the more aromatic, pleasant flavour notes within celery. With any preparation, you can also incorporate seasonings designed to counteract the bitterness. Salty and fatty flavours can counteract the bitterness, so you may consider pairing your celery with some strategic flavours. If you're a celery lover unbothered by its stringiness or bitterness, there is one hurdle that you may face. Reaching into your refrigerator to pull out celery only to find that it's become limp seemingly overnight. Don't immediately toss it out though, it can typically be revived. An easy way to bring limp celery back to life is to cut off a small portion of the stalks in order to expose more of the interior. Then stand the celery in a jar or container with cold water for an hour or so. This tip works because the cells in those submerged celery stalks will absorb the cold water, firming up the stalks again. You can also try wrapping the celery loosely in aluminum foil. This will help keep it from becoming dry and limp. Alternatively, you can cut the stalks into smaller pieces and store those in water from the moment you bring the produce home. Of course, if your celery is limp, it just means you don't want to use it in dishes where you need that crunchy texture. Instead, consider incorporating it in something like a soup or stir-fry, where it'll soften during the cooking process anyway. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about food hacks are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.